Dragon also knows Marcus Eichenberry in real life, and welcome to day T-8 in the 30-day crypto coin challenge. So let's talk today a little bit about the mania of Bitcoin and some of what's happening in the marketplace, and also on this challenge, are we going to do it on Bitcoin? Are we going to do other coins? What's kind of the game plan on that? So let's go over that. So right now, the biggest thing today is the mania of Bitcoin. You can see here that as of recording this, it's at 51.79, which I believe it hit an all-time high today. I don't think it's ever hit this high before. And there's a bunch of mania around this. There's a bunch of very irrational people making decisions to buy, and there's a bunch of rational people making decisions to buy. And so the mania, I believe, stems from well, there's a couple of things. One is that Bitcoin is such a buzzword right now, so hot and everything, and it's really because of its past performance of how much it's gone up, just this year alone. And people who are investors cannot deny the amount of wealth that can be generated with this. And so it creates this really big hype. And let me just explain how I've seen this hype, because I've seen it first person. I went to a Bitcoin meetup last night, and there was probably 40 people there or so. And one of the first things that the group organizer said was that really the group fit around one table, that there was 5 or 6 people for many years of them meeting up. And then this year it's just gone nuts, and the group keeps growing bigger and bigger and bigger. And really, maybe the group is growing at the same rate as the value of Bitcoin. So I met some very interesting people there. And I'm sure that a couple of them will see this video and know who I'm talking about, but I won't use any names. So I met a guy who has just purchased 3 miners from China, and I'm sure he spent a lot of money on them. And he's kind of caught up in the whole thing of, oh my God, we're going to make so much money, which maybe he is, but he laid out an incredible amount of money for these mining machines. And the first thing I thought is that he paid for them in cryptocurrency, and how does he know he's going to get them, and what recourse does he have? Doesn't that sound scary? But on the same token, what the price of one of these machines, ordering it from China, these machines, just over $1,000, but you go and order one on Amazon where you have that security and that safety of, you make sure you get what you paid for, you're going to pay double. And so there is a marketplace there. And, maybe he's going to do very well. He has a couple of months before the machines arrive, and then he'll start mining. And, I hope he does very well with it. In fact, I hope to be in touch with him once he's got his machines, and we'll go take a look at them. So, and then we've got people who, we've got another guy that I met that I don't think he's done any mining before. I don't think he's done any of the market trading before. And his idea is to buy these machines from China and then resell them locally and make money. Okay, maybe that can work. Again, everything is so volatile. A transaction that takes a couple of months from buying it right now until I receive it later in a market that is so volatile, it's really scary. I met another person who is, I believe, retired, and he is planning his own ICO. He's never traded, as far as I can tell, he's never traded any cryptocurrency before. He's never he's never mined it before, and he may own some of it right now, but I don't know what his level of stuff is with it. And he's going into this a little bit blind. He has this faith that he's going to go out there and be successful. And I spoke to him pretty bluntly last night saying, I don't think you have the ability to do an ICO on your own and be successful. An ICO has to have something that people need and want. And just making another clone of Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever is not enough, in my opinion. And he was thinking that he was going to mine some of his own coin before the ICO launched so that he would make a ton of money. And if he does that, incredible, wow. It doesn't seem logical to me, though. And I met other people who are down to earth and doing things right. So I met another gentleman who he basically is trading. He's spreading his holdings over multiple different kinds of cryptocurrency, and he's been doing some trading. He's taken losses on a couple of them, and he's done really good on some others. And it overall sounds like he's up. So, and if you're holding any Bitcoin right now, how can you not be up? I mean, just look at this up here and how everything's going. I mean, if we look at it, over, I don't know, since this low right here where it was 29.79 and then the high today where it's almost 5,200. So it's just absolutely incredible. Now, what is causing this? Well, mania breeds mania. So the more people there are that are super excited about things, the more people there are that make irrational decisions about these things. And it's hard not to get caught up in that. Even I get really excited when I see this stuff. But yet I'm a businessman. I'm very logical about a lot of business choices and everything. And yes, I take chances on some things, but there's some things that I look at them and I go, wow, the risk is just too far away from the reward. But what did I do this morning? I made sure that I was holding some Bitcoin, and I'll tell you why. Not necessarily because of the upswing today, but because of the forks that are coming up. And I can't tell you that I'm an expert in forks because I am nowhere near an expert in forks. But what's happening is that the first fork coming up, which is rumored to happen October 25th, and it's for Bitcoin Gold. And so October 25th will be right, we're starting the challenge and everything. And so Bitcoin is rumored to be having a fork and forking out Bitcoin Gold. Now, what people are saying is that to entice people to use the Bitcoin Gold currency, they are going to split in this fork and duplicate all of your Bitcoin holdings in Bitcoin Gold. Now, how much it'll be worth in the beginning, I don't know. But it's free money. And there's another reason for it as well, which is to take power away from a few big companies that are making all the miners and everything for Bitcoin. Because mining in Bitcoin currently, now, again, I'm not an expert in this. I am learning this as we go. And so, if I state something wrong, it's just because I haven't learned that yet. Now, as far as I can tell, there's only one or two companies that are making ASICs miners. And ASICs miners are the type of mining machines used for Bitcoin. You can use a CPU to mine Bitcoin, but the problem is the CPU is designed to operate your computer very efficiently. And its strong point is not hashing for Bitcoin. And so these ASICs miners put a whole bunch of little chips in these, that all of these chips are like little CPUs, and they actually are formulated to very specifically do the type of work that is most efficient for making money with mining Bitcoin. And these machines are expensive. They're $1,000 and up, and I've seen some really expensive ones. And, from what I see on them is that if you buy one, that within about 3 months, you've covered the cost of it. And then everything is money after that. But I've also seen in as little as 18 months, they're obsolete. And so, with these forks coming up and everything, what's going to happen to Bitcoin? What's going to go on with Bitcoin Gold? Why Bitcoin Gold? Well, they want to take the power away from the ASICs miners. And so Bitcoin Gold will be GPU based. All of us who have gaming machines and have our video cards. And so that is, maybe on the 25th or whatnot, when they do this fork, and I don't know how all this is going to play out, and I don't know the best way to be prepared for it, honestly, either. If I end up with some Bitcoin Gold, and I could start mining that as well because I have GPUs. So, I look forward to that. And I've got to do more research to see what's proper for the fork. The only advice that I got last night from some seasoned Bitcoiners is that you need to have your money, your Bitcoin, out of the currency exchanges. Because if it forks while you have the money in the currency exchange, you don't get any. And I don't know why that is. Maybe because the exchange keeps it or something. I have no clue. So my plan is that I'll have a couple of extra bucks. Most likely the money from you guys clicking the Coinbase link and setting up accounts and funding them, where you get $10, I get $10 worth of Bitcoin. I'll probably just leave that in there, and I'm going to see what happens. I have no clue what's going to happen. Now, there's more mania going on with this too, because I read a news article this morning of someone who's well trusted in the Bitcoin community and everything that said that he thought that Bitcoin was going to hit a value of more than 40,000 before the end of the year. Think about that. That is 10 times more than what it is right here, right now. We've got, 2.5 months before the end of the year? And that's a really incredible claim. And it is so incredible that how can you not get into the hype of that? But are they playing a game? Are they, putting this stuff out there to create more mania, to drive up the price of it? And then, will there be some mass sell-off and will it just go, will it all be gone? I have no idea. No idea. All I can do is watch it and then speak from experience after it happens. This is one of those things where to be able to speak intelligently on this, I have to go through it and experience it. So now let's talk about, for the 30-day challenge, what we want to be trading. And we're doing this with $100. And so basically, if you're doing it with Bitcoin and we put in $100, since it's over $5,000, it means that you can only have one active item with Bitcoin, because you got to do at least 1% in the exchange here in GDAX. Now, I also signed up for Poloniex, and I don't know if they have those kind of minimums there. If they don't, then maybe that's another option for trading or whatnot, because in this challenge, nobody says you have to use GDAX. I'm just saying that this is what I'm going to use for this event, and what I'll be showing and everything. So, that's where we're at with that. So then, if you look at Ethereum, which let's look at Ethereum, and so Ethereum is at about $300. And so if you are going to do 1% of that, it'd be about $3, which means that you can get around 30 or so active items going on in buying and trading if you're doing them at 1% each with $100. So, that is a good method. It's probably enough plays in there so that you can get your feet wet and really try things and see what you can do. Although you can see here, I have some sell orders up here that haven't been filled, and they've been there for 3 days. It's because I was buying on a 1%, re-up, and that was the 1% mark. And it just hasn't gone back up there since. It was up there before because I think it hit a high of around 314 or so, and then the market dropped. And this is the volatility, though. This is where I believe you make the money. I believe you make the money in the volatility. And so if you can play that where you can sit in between and you can do your 1% or 1/3 of 1% or whatever it's going to be, on each trade and do multiple trades a day, you can make your money. And my goal all along here is to increase my value by 1% a day. And so 1% a day over 30 days compounded, it equals, more than on a 30-day period, it will equal more than a 1% increase. That's for sure. So it's gonna be a 30 to 40% increase depending on how things go. So, and that's my personal goal. Will I hit it? We're gonna have to see. Am I having some success with that right now? Yes. But is it absolute? No. So, we got to take advantage of the market. As an entrepreneur, we say, that an entrepreneur will often tell you that they got lucky with their business. What that really means is that they observed a need in the market or something happening in the market, and they were lucky that they saw it, and then they knew how to take advantage of it. So luck is not something that just happens to you. Luck is something that is presented to you, and then you need to take action. So in this, maybe I've been lucky the whole time, and maybe my luck will run out. If the market keeps going down, it's harder to do this method without taking losses. And if you do take losses, like you jump out on some things because the market's going down and you want to play at a lower range going up and down and do multiple trades, how many trades do you have to do to make up for the loss that you just took? And many people will say, well, if you're doing 7 trades where you make money and you're taking 3 where you're taking losses, that you're still at like 50% more or something. The math gets a little bit complex, to say the least. So there is this, and then there's Litecoin. Now, Litecoin is, look at that. So Litecoin is, not as volatile. You don't see as much up and down in it, and which means that there's not as much opportunity to make money, because I believe that the volatility is where you make the money, not just the steady increase or whatnot. If you're going to be trading, if you're going to be buying and holding, then a steady increase just means steady, increase in profit. But you're chancing that the market won't drop, and then you sell, at a lower point. And so by doing the transactions, over and over and over again, you're realizing your profit each time, and you're cashing out each time. And hopefully if the market takes a huge plunge, you don't have all of your money in. Anyway, I have a sell order here for, it's just 3% of a Bitcoin. It's not a very big order. It's not worth hardly anything. I mean, so it's worth $1.50 or something like that. And it's been sitting waiting to sell. I did do some stuff in between, and that just happens to, be something that's left over there. So, but you can get into this for a lot cheaper, meaning you could do a 1% of each one of these, and you could get 18 or so transactions going simultaneously with $100. So now you can do another cryptocurrency other than these. That's fine if you want to. It doesn't matter to me. But what matters to me is that you are getting in here and you are buying and selling, and that you're turning a profit. And then if you do wildly well, we all want you to share how you're doing it or what you've done so that all of us can learn this. And so, some of you who are, do really well or whatnot, if you can explain your methods, then I will try them and I'll show them on video and see how well I can replicate them. So that is the whole theory. So the theory is that with all of us working together on this, even though it's a competition, that as a group of us, we all raise up in our knowledge level and we all make money. So, Anyway, I encourage you to get on board with this. It's a $100 buy-in, and if you don't have $100 to lose on this, then don't do it. So simple as that. And also, I recommend Coinbase for getting your money in and everything. And if you fund it with $100, I get a $10 bonus worth of Bitcoin. You get a $10 bonus worth of Bitcoin. And we'll discuss what to do before the fork on your extra if you use that. So, and what people are telling me so far is that we got to get them out of the exchanges and out of Coinbase. So may end up being that, you're putting a wallet on your phone or on your computer or paper wallet or secure, USB wallet. There's so many of them. We're going to go over those before we get everything started on this competition. So hopefully in a few days I'll have more information for you about that. So I'm Marky Dragon. Take care and hope to see you in this challenge.